I got pulled over, and I tell you, it's funny. When I came down here, my dad had given me a car before I came. Dude, it was a pearl white Cadillac Seville. It had Vogues. I mean, it was,
Balls, yeah, mustard and mayonnaise on
when I got down
it.
here, man, I got pulled over like 3 times in 30 days.
Dang.
And
Just being in that
just
car,
being in that
they knew
car.
you was
I didn't
black
get pulled over in Chicago. Nobody looked like in
because
Chicago.
they knew you was black in Mississippi, and
Man.
you was one of them in
And
Chicago.
I was working in Mobile, Alabama, and I had a partner. He's really cool. He's from there. His name is Shannon. And I came to work because I on the way to work. Like that was like the last time. Man, I was so fresh. He's like, "What's wrong with you, man?" I was like, "Man, I got pulled over again." Blah blah blah. He said, "You gotta get rid of that car."
For
I
real,
was like,
man.
"What?" He's like, "Yeah, you gotta get rid of that car." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "Yeah, that's a D-boy car." And I was like, "But in
For
Chicago?" He's
sure.
like, "You ain't in Chicago." He's like, "You in the South."
Yeah.
And that's a D-boy
Yeah.
car. He's like, "So if you want to keep having mornings like this, you keep driving what you drive." He's like, "Otherwise, and I got rid of it and got something more, I hadn't had a problem since.
That's wild, man. That's a wild correlation between Chicago and
Yeah.
Mississippi, and the analogy between the two cities, and all of that, man. And I have family that live in Mississippi. I've been to Mississippi before many times. Spent weeks there.
Yeah.
So I got love for Mississippi, man. I couldn't live there though.
Oh,
I got love for
not,
Mississippi, but I
not tell you,
don't know,
man.
bro. I don't know how you
I'm
do
gonna
it.
invite you down. The coast is different. Where I am,
Okay.
um,
Hmm.
Chevron has a big refinery here. Ingalls Shipbuilding is here, and then there's Keesler Air Force Base that's here. Those are like the three major
Okay.
players. We're on the beach. It's tons of casino resorts. If that's your thing, it's a vacation area. So if you
Okay.
come to the coast, even like I can drive, like even my daughter's playing high school basketball, and
Hmm.
their school's 30 miles north, and I'm telling you, I'm like, it's dark. We need to get home. Just
Yeah.
30 miles north.
30
Just 30
miles?
miles north. I mean, you are in the country. Like it's
Yeah.
it's what you would think when people say Mississippi. Where I am, it's a lot
Hmm.
more cosmopolitan, and you have a lot of because there's an Air Force base here. Countless people who retired from the Air Force, they come back. Cost
Hmm.
of living is much lower. Um, so your money goes further, and so you have so many people from different areas that are here. A lot of
Okay.
cats from Cali, man. A lot of cats from Cali.
Really?
Yeah, it's yeah, people from all over here. So right here on the coast, I think you everybody that comes is pleasantly surprised uh, when they
Okay.
visit the coast. Like I said, there's beaches, there's everything. But yeah,
I've never been to the coast. I've been to Mississippi many times. I've never been that far south in
oh you
Mississippi. So we got to come, man. Me and the wife got to
oh you
come.
you you you're going to be like, wow, this is Mississippi. Like yeah, it's kind of like a best kept
Yeah.
secret. So
Okay.
I
Okay, man. Dorsey, we going to keep in touch, and we going to make that trip down there sometime in the next year.
please come on down, man. I,
Yeah.
I, I got you. I got you.
For sure. I appreciate that. I'm gonna be hitting you up. All right, so we're gonna get into some fun stuff, man. It's been a long episode. We getting toward the end, but before we go, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. We like to play some games on this episode, on this podcast, not just talk about the serious stuff and everything ain't inspiration. Sometimes it's all about two people having some camaraderie and some fun.
All
So,
right.
all right, with that last question. So with that last question addressed, it's time for a game of who got it.
All right.
I hope you're ready
All
for
right.
this.
All right.
All right. All right, my brother. So you from Chicago. You spent time as an undergraduate in Nashville, Tennessee, going to TSU, and you now reside in the southernmost city in Mississippi, the state of Mississippi. So we need to know Who got it? Not everybody watching this episode or watching this show has been to Chicago. Not everybody has been to Mississippi. Not everybody has even been to Nashville. So the answer to your questions might help somebody consider some things.
Okay.
So here we go. All right, who got it? Chicago, Nashville, or Mississippi?
All right.
Who got the best food?
Oh man, Chicago, like it's hands down, hands down. Chicago's a food city. So many different
Mhm.
cultures. It's a city of neighborhoods, man. Yeah, so many immigrant populations just over the years. You know, you got Little Italy, you got Greek Town, you got Chinatown. Of course, you got the South Side. You got oh man, nobody can tell Chicago food, man. I'm that's who got it.
For sure, for sure. I can agree with that amongst those three.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an option because you could have said, you in the South, Mississippi, they might do something down there that ain't nobody else doing. Like you could be like, hey, Chicago got it, but down here in Mississippi, we do X, Y, Z, or Nashville, X, Y, Z. But
I'm
for Chicago,
I'm gonna tell you,
go ahead.
so many people from Mississippi migrated to Chicago. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
all the flavors you want are up there. That's why I say that. That's why I say
I
that.
agree. So they probably back down in Mississippi too.
Yeah.
You can find a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I know Chicago has a lot to offer. Hell, one of the biggest food events in the world happens there every year. The Taste of
Oh
Chicago.
yeah. I grew up going
You
to
know.
it. Grew up going to it, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. Who got it? Chicago, Nashville, or Mississippi? You just talked about this earlier. Who got the best weather?
Oh man. I would say I'm gonna have to give it to Nashville. Only
Okay.
because man, there's a hurricane threat here. You know, we do get
Oh
hurricanes
man.
here. If you've never
Oh, you
experienced
down there? But
if you've
yeah,
never
because
experienced
Katrina.
it,
Yeah.
man, hey, that's it's not nice. It's not nice. Even if it doesn't hit you, it's just so stressful and nerve wracking trying to figure out if it's gonna hit you and do I evacuate and and then Chicago's just too cold. So you got Nashville right in the middle. So I
Yeah.
man, I'm gonna have to tip my hat to Nashville on the weather.
Nashville got the best weather.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chicago, man. That hawk in Chicago ain't no joke,
no,
bro. I've been to downtown. I mean, you from there, you live there, but it might be different to you because you used to it. Come a Cali boy, man. I remember going there freshman or sophomore year. We went there. A group of us went there, and we went to the Taste of Chicago, I think. And then one at that night, we were walking around downtown, and we came around this corner, man. That
wouldn't
wind
hit
came
you.
off the lake like,
Yeah,
golly.
yeah. Now
Woo!
the
Man, it felt like I was naked outside.
now the irony is I didn't understand that until I left. When I was a
Oh,
senior,
you were used to
when
it.
I was a senior in high school, my daily uniform was a baseball cap, a t-shirt, and a leather jacket every day.
Wow.
January,
Yeah.
February, that's what I wore every day. And you know the cars you drive in high school. My car in high
Hmm.
school, I ain't had no heat. I didn't have heat in my car, and I'm t-shirt, baseball cap all winter long. Kid you not.
So you used to the car.
Till I spent those 4 years in Nashville and got soft, and then I couldn't do it. And now, oh my gosh, now
Yeah, you don't even want to go home in the winter,
no,
huh?
no, no.
Yeah.
So Nashville,
Yeah,
man.
Chicago is crazy, man.
Yeah,
Y'all went to high school together, but I spent some time in Chicago on the South Side as a result, and been up there many times in the summer and in the winter, man. And man, them winters in Chicago ain't no man. I hated them trips. I enjoy going there for family,
mm,
but I knew I was not going to be comfortable. I knew I couldn't wait to get out of there for the cold. Man, the snow on top of the houses make you fly over the houses trying to land in
oh
Chicago, and the houses they all look like
yeah.
cupcakes with icing
It's
on
just
top.
you know what you in for.
You like, man, here we go.
Yeah,
All right, man. Who got it? Chicago, Nashville, or Mississippi? Who got the best overall quality of life?
honestly, man, I tip my hat to Mississippi, specifically down here on the coast where I am. And my family and I, we talk about this all the time. My dad is he's 90, and he's down here, and like last Monday, this it was end of October, but
Mm-hmm.
it was a Monday evening, like 5 o'clock. I'd gotten off work. It's 75 degrees outside. It's just a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm like, hey, let's do a little fishing before it gets dark. I go pick him up, go park by the water, like right on the water, free, free parking, no traffic.
Mm-hmm.
Out here fishing, chilling,
Mm-hmm.
catching the breeze. And we looking at each other like, where you gonna do this? Like,
Back home.
where can you do this? So just such a easier pace. No real traffic. You know what I mean? I was showing Big G at homecoming because I was looking at Nashville home prices. And I was looking at Big
Mm-hmm.
G and I showed him a house in my neighborhood. Nice house, man. It was like 2,000 square feet, like 4 bed, 3 bath. I was like, G, what you think of this house? He's like, oh man, it's like 500, 600. It was like 200,000, 220,
Hey, bro, they still going like that down
220.
there?
He was like, what?
Right.
So yeah, I had to.
Yeah.
People say it's slow, and it is slower, but I'm good with slower at this point in my life.
Yeah. Heck
I'm
yeah.
good. And when I want to, man, I can drive an hour and 15 minutes and be on Canal Street in New Orleans, on Bourbon Street, if I just felt like
Yeah.
I need the noise, I need the city. But
Mm-hmm.
I found over the years it was just less and less of that for me. So I'm good, man. Quality of life, I'm gonna have to get it to the coast. I can't speak on the rest of Mississippi.
Uh, Other parts of
Can't speak
Mississippi.
on that, but the Mississippi Gulf Coast, yeah,
Yeah.
I had to tip my
Have
hat.
the quality of life
Yeah, I
there.
had to tip my hat.
That's dope.
Yes.
That mad respect too, man. We got to I can't wait to come down and visit, man. And
Please.
shoot, I agree with that. When you get to a certain age, all of the hoopla and the ripping and running, and the fanfare of everything, kind of simmers a little bit. You're like, I've been there, I've done that. I can do it again, but only every now and
Yeah.
then. So I don't need to be in the center of it all the time.
No, absolutely
I
not.
prefer to be out the way so I can enjoy my peace 90% of my
Yeah, and,
time.
and think, you can
Hmm.
think and see things, so
And breathe,
breathe.
man.
But you gotta come down. I'm
All
gonna
right,
hold you to it.
please do, please do. All right, we got two more. Who got it? Chicago, Nashville, or Mississippi? Who is the most diverse?
Um hmm, I'm gonna say with an asterisk by it, I'm gonna say Chicago is the most diverse. The problem is Chicago is the most segregated city I've ever lived in, visited, been in my life.
Yeah.
So you have all this diversity, but there's so much segregation at the same time. You know.
Explain that for the people watching what you mean. I know what you mean by that, but explain how it's broken down in
So
Chicago.
Chicago is a city of neighborhoods, and then just if you know anything about like urban history and uh, redlining and things like that, certain groups of people, like legally, right, and through shady practices, were kept in certain areas, and that was called redlining. If you were like my parents couldn't get a mortgage in certain neighborhoods, like no bank would
Hmm.
finance them. I mean, that was policy, that was corporate policy, and a lot of immigrants came to Chicago, and they gravitated to where their people were. So these neighborhoods kind of like grew and flourished. So you got Mexican neighborhoods, Puerto Rican neighborhoods, you got Chinese neighborhoods, Polish neighborhoods, Italian, like literally. So yeah, all
And explain further, like most people, a neighborhood is like a tract of homes, 80 to 100 some homes. Explain what a neighborhood in Chicago
oh
is like.
man, you talking about square miles as opposed to blocks, you know.
Hmm.
Um and the culture is so strong there. I mean, you're still places in Chicago, neighborhoods in Chicago where most of the signs are in Polish. Like,
Mm.
you go to
Yeah.
Chinatown and like most of the signs are in Chinese, and they got Chinese newspapers, like Chinese language newspapers and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
the it was just there was segregation, there was some racism, there was some
Mm-hmm.
racism, but for the most part, that was a treat to go to Chinatown and we're gonna eat. So if
Mm-hmm.
we want Chinese food or if we wanted some Mexican food, you know, when you talk about food earlier, there may be a couple Mexican restaurants here or there, or whatever, but like you can go to a Mexican neighborhood where people are making,
Authentic.
tortillas, where they got
Mm-hmm.
carnicerias, which coming from California. You know what I mean? And they
Yeah.
they got my dad would get the special cuts of beef and stuff like that. You talking
Mm-hmm.
fajitas, steak fajitas. I mean, you talking about if you don't know, you don't know. Like if all you
Yeah.
if your thing has been chain restaurants and then you go to a authentic neighborhood where they like it's night and day.
Yeah.
It's night and day. So um the diversity is there. The and you're welcome to come visit, but there was just so much insulation. They kept themselves kind of insulated. So that's kind of the unfortunate thing about Chicago that I didn't appreciate. Um
Yeah.
so but Chicago is
Well,
definitely
you
the
just
most
gamed
diverse.
diverse. You just gamed us up for real. A little bit some education on that. I mean, I kind of knew where you were going with
Hmm.
it, but for those who don't know how Chicago is made up, is different than even some other big major cities. It's a very different. Like I remember driving blocks and blocks and blocks, and you're like, okay, we still in Little Italy.
Yeah.
We driving blocks and blocks and blocks. Okay, we're in Ethiopia, little
Oh yeah.
Ethiopia now. You know what I'm saying? Like everything.
Yeah.
Um, all right, man, we got one more. All right, you've been to college, in two
Hmm.
places, in Nashville and in
Yeah.
Chicago. You now live in Mississippi. All three of them, the home of some very great institutions.
Hmm.
So, who, Chicago, Nashville, and Mississippi, who got the best group of colleges? And that's you can put you don't have to list them all, but you can consider whatever you want to consider in those groupings: HBCUs, PWIs, technical colleges, big, small, whatever.
Yeah.
But you got Illinois, you got or Chicago, we're not talking about the whole state of Illinois.
Hmm.
We're really talking about Chicago. We're really talking about Nashville, not the whole state of Tennessee. But we are talking about the whole state of Mississippi.
I got you. Um, I think I would tip my hat to now. There's some big universities in Chicago, um, but for that experience, I would have to tip my hat to Nashville, and I say that because Chicago State is in Chicago. Chicago State University. It's an HBCU. Um, but you don't have the same experience like you would have like a Tennessee State. Chicago State is predominantly black, but it's not. It doesn't have a. It's just not as old. It doesn't have a history of like a TSU. It doesn't have the community. Um, it's not embedded in it like a TSU. And
Mm-hmm.
then
Mm-hmm.
that's one thing I enjoyed about being at TSU. We had friends at Vanderbilt, and you can go over to Vanderbilt and get like a different experience. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got Fisk, and I never really spent a lot of time at Belmont, but you got Belmont, and so I think I think Nashville might be the ultimate college town, although people don't even realize that. I mean, it's so much different now, you know. But like
Mm-hmm.
especially back in the
Mm-hmm.
day when we were there, it's kind of like the ultimate college town. It's big enough to be a
Yeah.
city. So if you're from a urban, like I'm from Chicago, where I wouldn't get too homesick, but it's small enough to be, to give you that community feel as well. Chicago has some amazing schools, but for the most part, I mean, you got Northwestern that's kind of in the north suburbs, but for the most part, people in school and they just going to school in Chicago.
Yeah.
You're going to handle business. DePaul has a little culture. They have like a little on-campus culture, but for the most part, you going to handle business. And Nashville, you going to handle business, but you also going to experience that life as well. And so that's why I would tip my hat to Nashville on that. Mississippi's got some nice schools. They're spread out though. Jackson has Jackson State and Tougaloo. But then you got Alcorn, you got Valley, but they're a few hours away. I like Nashville because it's kind of all there together. So that's why I tip my hat to
Nashville. To Nashville, man. That's dope, man. There's a dope list. You said so on Who Got It. You said Chicago it's the best food going to Chicago. Best weather is going to the Gulf of Mississippi where you're living right now. It's understated, so y'all need to go check out Gaither, Mississippi.
Gaucher.
See, I told you I'm gonna mess it up. That's why I had you say it earlier in the episode. Gaucher, Mississippi. The best overall quality of life also went to Gaucher.
Now remember, I gave weather to Nashville because of the hurricanes down here. So
that's right. My bad. You gave weather to Nashville.
Yeah. But quality of life,
because you mentioned it
here. Yeah.
For sure. My bad. That's right. The weather goes to Nashville. You did mention the hurricanes there. Quality of life, Gaucher, Mississippi, the most diverse. You gave the most diverse to Chicago, but with an asterisk, because of the segregation of the diversity. So, that's an interesting dynamic in Chicago. And then the best grouping of colleges going to the home state, Nashville, or hometown.
Yeah, that's my second
Nashville,
home.
Tennessee.
That's my second home.
Yeah, for sure.
It's gonna always be my second home.
It's mine too.
Yeah,
it's mine too. I live here now, but it's my second. I was born and raised. You know where I was born and raised, but I feel just equally a Tennessean as much as I do a Californian at this stage in my life, because I've been living here more than half my life at this point.
Yeah, I got to make me some money, man, so I can get me a place up there, man. You got to have some paper to live in Nashville now. And then
little bit, man, but I mean, Nashville is just getting more expensive because so many people are moving.
They're realizing what's there, huh?
Realizing what's there. And then people coming from places like California that, prices are super exorbitant, the government running rampant, and they just like, I got to get out of here. I got to save me some money. I got to be I know most of the people that I know in California, they working 2 or 3 full-time jobs.
Trying to keep up,
just trying to support the lifestyle. And I get it, man, because you can't beat the weather. You can't beat the diversity. You can't beat certain things. And certain things in California, you're just not going to get somewhere else, but you're going to pay for that too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I had a friend that moved to Irvine. He went to TSU. He was my brother's friend. He moved to Irvine and in Orange County. And I remember he bought a house. This is like 20 years ago, man. And it was house cost $1 million. And I'm like, I got to come out. $1 million house. I'm like, oh man, I can't. I got to go see this. No. And man, he picked me up. We pulled up, and I'm like, oh, we stopping at his partner house or something to grab something before we get on to the, to the $1 million house.
To the house.
And he's like, nah, we home. And I'm like,
this is it.
Like this the million.
You paid $1 million for this?
I mean, houses. One house is here. One house is here. I mean, where there's no acreage, I'm looking for, And he was like, this is like average,
Yeah. Like, and he pulled up like, I'm happy. This is my crib. I got this. I got a deal on it.
I got a deal on it. And I'm like, what? So
I talked him down from 1.8.
Right. And at that time, I had just moved to Mississippi. So, man, even now, man, $1 million down here. Oh man, you you're gonna be in some acres.
Yeah, you
with some
for real. You live in large down there, $1 million down there.
Yeah.
It's going a long
way. So I get you, man. So you can come to Nashville from Cali and they talking about $500-600. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh.
Yeah.
Keep the change.